Okay, so my Campanotus Nicobarensis colony has outgrown their nest by quite a bit now. You know, you can see it's just a tad bit squashed at the moment, so thought I would give them some extra room. Speaking of extra room, the nest I'll be giving them is an ant kit size large. I salvaged and cleaned this nest in an episode a few weeks ago, where I revamped my Myrmecarubra setup. If you haven't seen that video, it's linked up. It's either of the two. It's your choice. And you know, if you have watched that and you want a follow-up video, just comment saying so below, because I can make one if you want. Okay, the first thing you'll need for a move is a quarantine bin. I use this for pretty much all of my moves where I have a bin that's actually big enough to fit it in. I really like it because if they escape the setup, then they can't escape the quarantine bin. It's just, yeah, I really like the idea, and I think it was originally from AntScapes that I saw it, so, you know, shout out to him. Personally, for my escape barrier, I use talcum powder and water in a ratio of a little bit of talcum powder to a little bit of water. You know, you can use Flow-On and anti-slip and stuff if you want to. Let's give that some time to dry. Unfortunately, the tubing that I plan to plug the ant kit nest into is the same size as the connector. So, you know, if you took a PhD in physics, you might know that that doesn't really go together. So I just stole some tubing from my Aesthetic Ants Outworld and Nest collection, and that fit into the ant kit connector just fine. Let's bring the whole setup over into the quarantine bin. And that went okay. It was just the ant kit nest, because when I tried to put it in, it was too long. I had failed to consider that the nest I was moving the ants into, because it was bigger than the original nest, and then it didn't fit because it was too big. I'm really not that smart, like, let's bring in a bigger quarantine bin. Because I'm impatient, I didn't do the talcum powder barrier on this one. I'm just going off the fact that it's quite big and hoping that they don't escape from it. I've decided that I'm not going to mess around with any three-way connectors or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is just unplug the Ants Australia nest, open up the Ants Australia Outworld, dump it in, and then plug in the ant kit nest. And it should be that simple. I hope it will be that simple. Great, it turns out it actually was that simple. Oh, I spoke too soon, the tubing isn't going in right. If I didn't keep pushing the tubing together, it would come apart, which isn't really good for a long-term setup. So I ran over to my mum's room and stole her hairdryer, put it on the hot setting, and then blasted it directly at the tubing. What this did was heated it up and made it more malleable so I could actually fit it together, which did actually work. Unfortunately, in the process of, you know, using a hairdryer, I created a miniature dust storm inside the quarantine bin. Overall, the whole thing only cost me about 4 escapees, which is pretty good, especially when considering that if I was to do this with, I don't know, my Nicobarensis colony, I would have like 20 escapees, maybe more. Look at the first few workers venturing inside the nest. I wonder what they're feeling, seeing, smelling at the moment. What this means to them. I wonder if any remnants from the pheromones from the Myrmecarubra colony that was once in here are still there. Could that be what they're smelling? I'm gonna use a light to encourage them to move out. This will be on 24/7 for a while until they fully move out. Wow, look at the queen. It may take them a few days or even a week to move out at the moment with the whole light setup. So let's provide some extra incentive by putting the ant kit nest on a heating mat. I'd say that this move has gone really well. I have just done a coronavirus test and it's positive. I don't know if you can see that. On another note, I'm on 398 subs. My latest video did like 240 views in the first 2 days, I think. So, you know, all things considered, I'm doing good. I think probably by tomorrow morning I'll have 400 subs, which will be sick. And it's currently 8:48 on Tuesday, the 14th of September. If I manage to get 400 subs by tomorrow morning, I think I'm gonna try and aim for 500 by the end of the year. It might be hard to do, but I think that would be really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna see you. Bye. Yeah, that's it. I have 400 subs. I don't even really care that I have coronavirus. I've waited for this moment for like ages, you know, ever since I've made my YouTube channel. I guess it's on to 500 now. Hopefully I can do that by Christmas with your help. Let's take a look at the ants, but you know, don't get your hopes up. They probably won't have moved fully in, and they did move in. Thank you so much for everyone supporting me on this road to 400 subs. But I want to say a special thanks to Aesthetic Ants, Holleufer, AntScapes and Ender Ants for, you know, helping me make it this far. You know, shout outs, working with them on videos, you know, even sending products across for the channel. It's been, you know, amazing. It's been amazing, and I love being a part of this ant keeping community on YouTube. And I want to say a final thank you to my unnamed neighbour who lent me my macro lens that I use for every video. And with that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, then like and subscribe. If you didn't, then don't, and I'll see you in the next video. And the video after that, and the video after that. I'm gonna try and keep it going until at least Christmas, and hopefully beyond. Yeah, here's to weekly videos, I guess. Bye.